Good evening. We're off to a great start already.
I got something salty in my mouth right there at the end. I don't know what it was. I taste salty.
I bet you did.
No, it's the truth. It's like
we're off to a great start already.
Where's he at?
Jesus Christ. Hello, everybody. Welcome back to another weekly episode of Everything Vaguely Paranormal. As always, I am Blake Smith, and with me are my partners in the paranormal, Miss Shelley Pruitt, Mr. Ryan Roberts. I would ask how Shelley is, but we can already see. Ryan, how are you doing, my friend?
Oh, I am fantastic. Shelley's tickled over here. She's thinking about something. So.
I got tickled right before we started.
Yeah.
Which means you know it's going to be a great show.
Yeah, but I'm doing great. I'm really excited about having our friends on tonight.
Dude.
I am too.
Yeah.
Y'all know that whenever you call somebody and you have like really good gossip to spill and you're like, dude, like that's how I feel about tonight's episode.
Dude. This show tonight, this show, two of our wildest friends that we love getting to hang out with because you never know what's going to get said, and that's part of the fun.
Yeah, you have no idea. So I'm going to go ahead and bring them to the screen tonight. We have all the way from ParaPeculiar Haunted Museum and Podcast, our fellow podcasters and paranormal investigators. I have been told to say, no, just kidding. They are the, one is the darling of the paranormal, Nicole Riccardo, and the other is a self-proclaimed wiener trainer, Damian Schillaci. That's what Shelley's laughing about. Y'all should have been in the green room beforehand. Anyways, we're going to bring to the screen Nicole Riccardo and Damian Schillaci. What is up, y'all?
Because wiener trainer is far less aggressive than dick trainer. See, wiener is a fun word.
Yeah, but I like to think of myself as really masculine. So I think that wiener trainer takes that away from me.
You're a wiener trainer. You are not masculine at all.
What we were just talking about was going to be the ramifications if I ever used the word wiener.
No, we're not. Sex. Yeah, we're live. We're live.
Oh, are we live?
That was for the green room only.
Oh yeah, wiener.
Yeah. Wiener. Hi, you guys.
Yeah. Hey,
how are y'all doing? I was gonna say, how y'all doing tonight? Doing good?
We are doing very, very well.
Awesome. We're excited to have y'all on. I'm so glad that y'all are able to join us because we had y'all on for our other show, After Dark with EVP, over on Paraflix. And we were like, we have got to bring y'all to our podcast because y'all are such a hoot every freaking time we get to hang out with y'all, talk with y'all. So we're so glad y'all are here with us tonight. A hoot and a half. Yeah.
I'll hoot for you.
So tell us, y'all have ParaPeculiar. Tell us about ParaPeculiar. Y'all have the Haunted Museum and the podcast. Give us a little bit of background on that.
It sucks. So don't listen to the podcast. Don't look at the collection. No, ParaPeculiar is the closest thing I guess I'll have to a child, right? Besides my cat, which is literally something that we built. It's our haunted collection, and it's our museum of items, of things, and it is a podcast where we get to talk to people that we are very interested in that are talking about interesting things. And the only reason the podcast exists is when you realize you want to have these conversations with these people, that if you just reach out to them and you're like, well, hey man, can I have 2 hours of your time? You talk to me. They're going to be like, get the fuck out of here. Versus if I just say that word, like I have a podcast, right? And then like they just immediately say yes. So it's a manipulative way for generating of conversations.
And then there's the episodes where the two of us just, it's descends into chaos and you never know what you're gonna get.
Well, what people need to realize when they listen to those episodes, it's not scripted. Like that's literally if you want to know who we are,
nothing we do is scripted.
You listen to those episodes.
We get hate mail for it. So
you should read those on the air. Say,
we do.
Oh, good. I love that. Can I send one?
We do.
We just got the greatest idea from Robin from Coffee and
Cauldrons podcast. So anybody who likes witchy podcasts, shout out. They're my favorite witchy podcast.
I was so agitated that we didn't think of this first, but she's taking bad reviews and putting them on t-shirts and selling them. And so I told her, I said, I'm taking this idea, and she gave that blessing.
Yeah, she said, please do. Yeah, so we're gonna.
So Damian, as a professional wiener trainer, is going to be the
absolutely
first shirt.
Yes, all of the shirts. Because Damian is the only one that gets bad reviews. Now, somebody please do not go leave me a bad review. I will cry. Okay, but all of the shirts they're just going to say like Damian sucks.
Yeah, Damian's
and
a dick mouth.
And then on the back it'll say Team Nicole.
Yeah.
There you go. No, Nicole, you won't cry. You'll just work some witchy magic on them.
Yeah,
Like,
no, to be honest, I really don't care. I don't even read the reviews. Damien actually is much more sensitive than I am.
I'm very vain.
I mean, we're both Libras. We're vain, but I have learned my lesson. I just don't read reviews. I think literally the very first review that I ever got on our other podcast was a slew of bad reviews. I'm like, dude, it's my first episode. Of course I don't know what I'm doing. If you don't like it, get out of here. You know? So I just have not read the reviews since then.
You know what? That's very much like the three of us. Like me and Shelly, we will become paranoid almost over a single comment. Even like we had one that was like this. The comment was like, "This is almost unlistenable," is what they said. We were like, you know what?
Don't listen.
And I'll read them and be like, "Fuck them." You know.
No, we do have fun reading them on the episodes, though.
We do.
Yeah.
We had one of them that said, "Shelly talks too much." Fucker, it's my podcast. Get the fuck out of here. I can talk if I want to.
That is quite literally 75% of the negative reviews I get. That and my voice sucks. That and my voice sucks. Yeah.
That and just stop interrupting me.
Yes.
Yes.
I feel your pain. Damn,
it's like also it's a fucking podcast. If you don't want to hear us talk, then I don't know, go watch a fucking movie or something.
To be fair to these poor people, like we both have probably very serious cases of ADD or whatever the kids are calling it these days.
Both absolutely are ADD. So actually we had an episode, and here's my way of dealing with it. I shamed people publicly.
You're a shamer.
And I said you're actually what's the term?
Projecting?
No, my brain's not working. I'm still on coming off our road trip. But basically that it's, having a neurotypical brain is a disability, and that they're like shaming us for our disabilities because we're ADD and can't remember anything. Yeah. Like I was like, I hope you feel bad about yourself.
Fucking normie.
Real bad about yourself because we can't help our afflictions.
Damn.
Not our brains suck, okay?
See what happens when you just simply ask the very generic question. Tell us about ParaPeculiar.
That's right.
You just got a taste of the descent into madness that it becomes.
Yes.
Yeah.
So I know that whenever you guys were on the other show with us, that you actually had your haunted museum, and you were in the process of moving your items somewhere else. Do you want to tell them where all your haunted items now reside?
Well, right now they're all in they're all with us right now in this room that you see, right? We've got the majority of them in here.
They're in timeout.
A lot of them are in timeout. So it's funny. Because we have certain pieces that were causing things like panic attacks, wild sickness, literal barfing in the parking lot, passing out. And like when people passed out in front of this item,
that was the last straw.
That was the last straw. And I literally was like, look, I know that I'm many things, but one thing I don't want to be is the first guy to ever get sued for a ghost. Maybe I do actually. Maybe I want to be that.
Because you would make history.
Because we did have people calling where it was at, being very upset, asking for, you need to send me a picture of the warning that's on there and showing, the waiver and all of this stuff. Because it was making people very physically ill. And leading up to the person who passed out, we kept having people come in, and for I think it was a few weeks, we kept getting it started with headaches. I feel headache, and then it started escalating to I'm feeling kind of lightheaded, and it would pass pretty quickly. But then it would be like I'm feeling really super dizzy, almost I need to sit down. And we kept saying to each other dude, no, we cannot have somebody pass out in here. And then it happened, and we both looked at each other and we were like, no,
we were there when it happened too. And I'll never forget it. This lady just drops, and I look at Nicole and I just do that number.
Yeah, we're like,
anyway,
no.
So we are in the process of finding its new home. It's funny. I think I can say this publicly now at this point. I mean, everyone knows, but our bruv Chad bought Old Park Hotel recently.
Yes.
It's funny. We were looking at it.
Mm-hmm.
That was in our mind, okay, this is going to be where the museum is now going to be, and we're going to do that. God bless Chad for this. It was the undertaking was going to be so hard. We went in there, we're walking around with the realtor, and we were just like, God.
We are not equipped to deal with this.
No, we're so like we're constantly on the road. First thing.
Well, yeah, like literally, we just got back. We were on the road for 2 weeks. Okay, a 2-week road trip, and we didn't stay. The longest we stayed somewhere was 3 days.
Crescent.
And then we have this weekend coming up is free, I guess. But then after that, dude, we don't have a free weekend until the middle of August.
Well, it's kind of free because we're even considering just taking a last minute drive to Arkansas this weekend because we are looking for new places for the museum and areas that we can be doing tours as well. We think of the area that we're in.
So public call, if anybody knows of anywhere, preferably a haunted little town that has a nice little, we're open to live in the situation, and bottom floor is
it's like a Will Ferrell moment in Talladega Nights.
The bottom floor is the museum, the upper floor is live there, or just somewhere that we can throw all of this haunted shit. Let us know. Send us a message and let us know.
Yeah. So that's what's happening with it right now.
Yeah, I mean, you guys sound like us. I mean, we're that busy too. Like, we don't have anything free until the fall, it seems like. But whenever I came, I was lucky enough to come and hang out with you guys and record a podcast episode and hang out with y'all.
That's why they
y'all
got the
took me
bad
to the
reviews.
museum.
No, everyone loves our guests. Everyone loves Ryan. Everyone loves everybody. But the second I get brought into the conversation, it's downhill.
Everybody hates
baby.
Damian.
I love you, Damian.
Thank you.
We all love you. But you guys took me up to the museum and you guys, showed me the chair that you guys got from Mineral Wells at the Hill House. And from that chair, you guys have a whistle that follows you around. And you guys were like, hey, touch this chair to see if the whistle follows you. I did touch the chair. I will say, luckily in my home, it hasn't happened, but
what do you mean luckily? What are you saying about the way that we live our lives, Ryan?
Hey, Damian, you just trained your first wiener. He touched the chair. He did what he said.
Oh my God! Literally, wiener and whistle. I need a wiener whistle.
Oh yeah,
you do.
Remember those?
Yes.
No. So actually, though, when you were there, Ryan, did you hear the beep?
No, I heard
Ryan finish what he was saying.
Yes, ADD.
No,
I'm giving you a bad review.
Mental illness.
No, but we did hear the whistle several times when we were hanging out downstairs after the podcast was over. Like it kept happening. But I did have it show up at Old Park a couple of times this weekend. Me and Chad were walking around and we got that whistle. But did it follow you guys on your road trip this time?
Not this time, but actually real quick, I'm interested. Did you get a recording of that whistle at Old Park? Mm-mm. Man, so it happens at Old Park. I've heard it at Old Park. Mm-hmm. And our good friend, so I'm going to give a shout out to our good friend Shaggy from Relics and all these guys. He has a video. I can't remember if he was at Old Park or if he was the jail across the street. He was at one of these jails and he has a video of a whistle that he caught. And I played the thing right next to ours. And it's like verbatim, man. Like you're listening to a recording, and it's the weirdest thing because either in multiple different locations, far away, And
we did it with when we had the whistle follow us to New Orleans, and we happened to catch it there. We've played all of these side by side, and it's always the exact same tone.
Yeah, yeah, and it's always just like there's some new stuff that's been happening with whistles, with the radio.
Oh. Yeah, that's weird as fuck.
Dude, this has now happened to us. What happened once on
I could find it and play it.
See if it has the part where we're whistling at it. So this happened once on the trip. The first time this happened was at a family seance night. So people that are lucky enough to get invited to the Para House, we have family seance nights. So
our shout out to our Patreon. It's our Para Academy tier on our Patreon. Sometimes we like to randomly be like, hey bruvs, you want to come get fucking weird?
Yeah. So we were doing that and this wild thing happens with a shortwave radio where all of a sudden it just kind of flips to a station that was making this like weird space music, almost like the music that the astronauts heard in space that they call the alien music, whatever. But then these weird whistles are happening and we start whistling at it, right? 1, 2, 3. We'll whistle at it. 1, 2, 3. The fucking thing was whistling back 3 times. Boom, boom, boom. Okay. Out of the radio. Right. And it's happened every time. And this happened again to us on our recent trip at McPike.
Yeah, McPike Mansion.
McPike Mansion.
Where it was, and when we say whistling back, like I found the video, so I'll play a little clip for you. Hopefully you can hear the whistling in here. But it's bizarre because, you know, when you like turn one of these radios on, it's literally just static, right? Nothing fucking comes through. But not only are you hearing this weird like space music, it's a whistle, but then we would whistle and it would directly imitate the whistle.
3 times. Boom, boom, boom. Yeah.
So
that's like some
shit. Okay.
Close encounter stuff.
Are you speaking in Morse code?
What?
Now, I don't know if you can hear the.
Yeah, let me go.
Because it does that. That's how.
Right. Yeah.
Yeah, you can hear like the spacey type music.
And then you start basically, I can't whistle if I went like that, like 3 times, 1, 2, 3, just like in Close Encounters. As a matter of fact, Ryan, the very first time it happened to us, that was what I was getting. And I was like, oh my God, this is directly out of the movie Close Encounters of the Third Kind. Boom, boom, boom. But it's doing that same thing back to you every time we'll whistle. We'll have groups of people experience this. It's wild.
Yeah.
Wow. That I mean that is super interesting. And the fact that you guys had it when you were on the road too. Do you guys have any idea what it could be exactly?
No.
Not a goddamn clue.
What about where do you think you picked this up from? This kind of whatever this spirit entity noise that follows you around. Where do you think you might have picked it up from?
Look,
probably here because we are ding dongs and do stuff like go sit out in our yard and do CE5, and you know, pretty much most nights we'll go out there at some point and we're always looking in the sky and we're like, did that one move? Like this is our lives. So I'm convinced that it's something to do with that. Whether like that goes paranormal, is it all the same thing? You know, that's a whole other conversation for a different day. But it's something from that.
Of that, and you know, like behind us, you can see this is our version of a man cave. It's the ITC setup, right? It's like I've got my radios and my tape players and my TVs and like all these things that I experiment with for like ITC work. And I mean, there was a time. I'm not doing it like this anymore, really, but there was a time where nightly it'd be like 3-hour sessions, just going and going and going with the radios. And you once said it one time, you're like, well, you're putting a spotlight out.
You're sending up the bat signal. Of course, this house is haunted AF. Can I just say, I literally earlier today, I wish so badly we had this on video. I posted in my stories. I'm sitting on the couch editing an episode. Okay. That's going to release Monday. And I had like a metal water bottle sitting on a drying rack, and it's been there for a couple days. Okay. It gets knocked off of the counter, crashes to the floor. Then there's, you know, a few seconds of silence, and then I hear it start moving. And I don't want to get up because I'm like, whatever the fuck is happening right now, I don't want to disturb it. So I'm just sitting there listening.
Most people get scared. You're just like, I want it to keep going. So
that's how you know you're. That's how you know you're a paranormal investigator. I've done the same thing.
Yes. And so you know, I'm listening and you hear it, and then it starts rolling. The floor is level. Okay. We're the first people to live in this house. It's a new build. The floor is level. It's not slanted. There's nothing weird going on here. And it rolls across the fucking kitchen under the dining room table.
Yeah. Holy shit.
And I was just like, all right, well, I guess I'm just going to leave that there so he can see it.
It's all of that. And I think it's a mix of the fact that we do like, we have this collection, and we're very fortunate to sort of live these kind of weird lives where we go to these places and people just give us their shit. Yeah. You know, like literally just at
McPike
Mansion, and the woman, the owner, is so wonderfully nice, and we're there, and before she leaves to like give us access to this place that she owns, she gives us an original piece of the molding from the house, like the original piece of the house, you know. And I mean, we've got an original brick from Octagon Hall that was handmade on the property. Like, people just give us these things, so we bring all this stuff into the house, and it becomes like our children. It becomes like our bruvs. It becomes something we experiment with. And I think maybe that's why it must be.
I think we're throwing up the freaking bat signal every day.
I think it's got to be a mixture of everything, because I'm going to be honest. Like, I started my own collection as well, and once I started bringing stuff in, and working with these different dolls and things that I have in this room, I think it is a combination where it's like you have these objects and you're sending out this huge freaking signal where it's like, hey, I'm open. Hey, come talk to me, you know? So you got to be really careful-ish for those who are not everyday paranormal investigators. This is why we say don't investigate your own fucking house. Because you're knocking on the door and anything's going to be able to come in, so to speak, but you're also bringing these spirits in with you and you're trying to investigate these haunted objects to get bigger stories and stuff like that. So yeah, you're just setting up a huge fucking signal.
Well, and the signal doesn't discriminate either. Once they decide they've locked onto you, radar, you're always on the radar. Because it's funny you say that happened to you yesterday, Nicole.
Today. Literally earlier this afternoon. Yeah.
That's interesting because last night after I got home, I have an imp, and so I don't bring anything haunted into my house because I've already got a little terrorist that runs around my house, an imp. And I was unpacking, and the first thing I went to get something out of my car, I came back and my suitcase is flipped off of my bed, and it's upside down, and clothes are scattered everywhere. I'm the only one in the house that don't have any animals. So I get mad. I put it back up on the bed. I have a California king bed. This is not going to fall off. This suitcase is not sitting on the edge or teetering or anything. So anyway, I get a little upset about that, and I'm pissed, and I'm cussing the imp, and I'm saying leave my crap alone. And I hear this big crash in the kitchen. So I immediately turn on my video camera, turn on my recording on my phone and start shooting video. And I fling it up. I'm like, y'all, I just heard something. And I sent it to these guys. I'm checking the living room, the kitchen, and I go into the main part of the kitchen, and literally the little jars, your little jars for your coffee and your sugar and your tea and your flour, and the one that has tea that's the farthest back has been knocked over. The tea bags have been pulled out. There's tea bags on the floor, and they've knocked a coffee cup off. That was my dad's coffee cup from that morning he'd left out.
You got ghost cats. You got ghost cats.
No, that's my imp. That's my imp.
I love that.
He's an imp.
I love that so much, actually, because, I wasn't gonna mention this because we have enough haunted things in here. Okay. I'm not going to blame myself, obviously. However, yes, I did do some witchy shit yesterday. Yes, I did open a circle.
Oh, okay.
And yes, I did forget to close it.
Well,
I love the full transparency.
True confessions with EVP.
Yeah.
Go ahead.
Most couples are like, well, I overspent at the casino this weekend, darling. Not us. It's like, well, I opened a circle and a demon came out of there, and I was just like, oh, whatever. So it's
No, I love hearing stories from other investigators, especially if you collect stuff, because you think you're out there on your own, where it's like you hear a voice and you're thumbing through your phone on the couch, whatever, and you hear hey or whatever in your house, and you're like, hey, what's up? And you go back to thumbing through your phone. I mean, we were literally just before this on the pre-broadcast, right before we started recording that, I saw a person out of the corner of my eye walk across the hallway over here. And I just looked up and I was like, oh, I just saw a person over there. And Shelly's like, oh, okay. So when are we starting that? And it's like,
right. It's every day. It's every day. It happens. And so much happens, you forget about it and it becomes commonplace. You're just like, and you tell someone the story and they look at you like you're fucking crazy. They're like, you're not scared? No. It just happens.
I'm with you, Nicole, though. I was gonna say I'm with you, Nicole, because I'm opening circles all the time here too, and Lord knows there's probably one I forgot to close.
It gets a bit wild though. I don't know. This is a weird question to say live, but did we show Ryan our sheets when he was here?
Oh, gross.
Oh, wait, no, yeah, you did the handprint on the dude. You got to tell that story because that is wild.
Yeah, the Bell Witch handprint.
Yeah, you showed me that, or almost looks like a 3-fingered or a 4-fingered handprint.
Yes.
Well, to your point about
talk about normalizing paranormal activity.
Yeah, because to your point where you're like, oh, what was that noise? I'm just going back to my phone. Well, we started messing around with these Bell Witch cave rocks that we have, and we were doing experiments, and all of a sudden, something's in our house that's literally acting like the Bell Witch did. I'm getting slapped in the head, while we're laying down.
It's apporting me presence.
Yes, it was apporting her presence, even a spool of fucking ribbon. Okay, which is wild. But we ended up getting these weird creature-like handprints all over our sheets.
You're neglecting to mention so we have white sheets. I wash the sheets with bleach. Okay. I'm making the bed and I see these, first what I saw was like it looked like droplets of something, you know, and I call him and I was like, oh, did you like spill coffee or something? Because it was that kind of like a really light like sepia tone, you know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
And he comes in and he's like, holy shit, what is this? You know? And the reason a handprint we're equating to the Bell Witch is because when we went to the Bell Witch cave, got the rocks, put them in the truck, get to our hotel, there was a handprint that looked exactly like it on the back of the truck that we were in.
Oh,
and
shut
so
up.
unprompted at all, he takes a picture of what looks like a handprint on the sheets. Okay. Sends it to Eric, who was with us, our friend Eric, Pararodi. Shout out Sir Talking Hair. And he was with us when we went to the Bell Witch Cave. It was his truck. So sorry, Eric, that we put the rocks in and that got the handprint on. And so he sends him a picture of the handprint. He's like, does this look familiar at all? And unprompted, Eric's like, yeah, that looks exactly like the handprint that was on the back of my truck. So the
best part is like we've now washed them several times with bleach, and they get darker every time. They don't go away. So they're there.
And we still use the sheets.
Oh God.
No. You have to go.
Yeah. I mean, what better way than to fall asleep than in the, I don't know,
being cradled by the Bell Witch.
Yeah.
I can think of thousands of different ways that are much, much better. No.
I think that the Bell Witch likes when I say we know.
I think it's fine because she affords me presents and she slapped him in the face. So it's a win-win.
Now, is she still showing up, or is she kind of like calmed down a little bit?
No, that's the funny thing that happens. And I actually want to touch on that because it's not different at all than what happened with the Jeff Dahmer shit. Yeah. So we had a lady we had a lady on our podcast, a wonderful woman called Kristen Halder, and she wrote this great book, and it was about her experience with potentially having a romantic and friendship based relationship with the ghost of Jeffrey Dahmer.
Basically being haunted by Jeff Dahmer.
Correct. So we had this conversation with her. She was really wonderful, really great. And literally, like right during that time, shortly before she actually came on the podcast, we had the friends over, the Patreon members for our family seance night, and we were channeling Jeff Dahmer like idiots. No.
They did not know, though.
They didn't know. And
tell them about our fuckery.
Yeah, we had a picture of Jeff Dahmer under the Ouija board. We had a piece of a human skull with like Jeff Dahmer stuff. And we had all this stuff, right? So
they had no idea.
They had no idea. And like stuff's coming through and they're getting like Jeff Dahmer vibes. All of a sudden, they start getting touched on the back one at a time. This is something that happened in her book that we'd not even gotten to yet. Okay. So kind of wild there. And we, long story short, that's a wild night. We have the interview with her and then we're sitting doing something and I referred to her as Mrs. Dahmer and then the lights start flickering.
This ring light.
Yeah. There's
right here.
Yeah. The one that's illuminating our Hollywood faces just now.
That is not flickering.
Correct. That's the thing. So there's these great videos that we have. I think they're out there somewhere, but we'll be talking and right when we start talking about Jeff or anything, the lights just start flickering like crazy. Yeah. We were having Queen come on the radio all the time, which is like he was big into Queen.
And that was something that she talked about in her book that would happen.
That would come on the radio. We were getting ads for Exorcist 3 on like every fucking movie streaming service we have.
And every time we turned on
which was his favorite
streaming thing, it would have like Jeff Dahmer, a picture of Jeff
Exorcist
Dahmer.
3.
We'd open Facebook, it'd be a picture of Jeff Dahmer. It was like just wild.
We would have appliances mess up, like the TV in the bedroom. I will never forget this. Okay, the TV in the bedroom's not working.
Jeff fixed it.
Nicole just goes, Jeff, like that, fixes.
What?
It also fixed the dishwasher.
Fix the dishwasher.
What the hell?
Jeff is awfully handy. Maybe you should keep
Chef.
him around.
Awfully handy.
I know,
yeah.
that's what I said. I was like, honestly, he can stick around if he's gonna fix shit.
But he's not been around either. I mean, they come and they go. Whatever these things are that are basically imitating whatever it is at the time that we are focused on.
Yeah.
So because I know you guys on your road trip, y'all hit a couple of sites that were like that had to do with Jeffrey Dahmer. He didn't show up in anywhere you guys were at.
No, and we tried. We were actually what it was. It was like you had planned this like grand gesture to like an ex, and you think that it's gonna like revive
the radio outside.
Yes. I was
romance,
all over the place, all over Wisconsin, and our Pararodi, who again, shout out to him because we put this guy in situations, whether it's the ghost or it's the Crips or like whatever it is. We put this guy in situations that are crazy. He had all the sites down. He's actually from there. He grew up there. So we went to his grandma's house where he used to bring people and stuff. And
we drove past where Ambrosia Chocolate used to be. We drove past where his apartment was, which it's just a field now.
It's a lot now.
We drove past the Ambassador Hotel. We drove past the clubs that he used to like to go to.
The clubs, we were picking out liquor stores that like we knew he would have gone to. Like, this one's a quarter mile from his grandma's house. Everybody walked here. You know, like we tried to find Ambrosia Chocolate. That didn't happen.
Yeah, we could not find the chocolate.
He didn't show up though. We felt really bad. We even sat there in the car and we're like, okay, if Queen comes on the radio, then we know he's with us. But it didn't. It didn't happen.
See, we're gonna be interviewing them like 7 years down the road, and their answer is gonna be like, "No, we have no idea when Lucifer showed up, but it was somewhere."
No, we have an idea, and it's probably Nicole's fault as well. That's another story.
Okay, listen.
Yeah,
there was a blank space on the wall, and it needed to be filled. Okay,
that's how demons start. There's a blank space on the wall. I've got to fill it with your demons. Like,
I'm a Libra. What do you want from me? I need it to be aesthetic.
I want to pull it. Should I pull it out?
No.
All right.
It's in a salt circle. Leave it there.
Yeah, it's a bad piece.
It's basically talking about Lucifer and demons. We had somebody drop off a box of actual shit. They were like summoning demons, whatever, left-hand path. And they're like, this ruined my life. Take all of it. And there's a cloth. I think
it's an altar cloth. Yeah,
I think it's bigger than an altar cloth, but it's got all these sigils and it has, essentially a circle. Like it was used for summoning. Okay, so whatever. That's what I hung on the wall.
Well, no, when I was there, you pulled it out of the case and you wrapped it around yourself and said, "Would you like to wrap yourself in the cloth?" And I said, "I think I'm okay."
Did I do that?
No, I did.
No, Nicole did it. Yeah,
I did. It feels fucking weird. Like, listen, okay,
I'm good.
I'll do it.
One thing I will say is like I'll try anything multiple times. Okay,
just to make sure you hate it, right?
Yes, like especially if something is like this feels like something I haven't encountered before. Like I would like to know more. Yeah, I don't know. Maybe it's a demon. Fuck around and find out.
Well, no, this kid had dropped some stuff off, and we are kind of like a Goodwill in some ways. But he came over and he's like, I was practicing this really crazy black magic stuff, and there's a lot of people that like to think that doesn't exist, and those people are very wrong, because there are people that do this and like try to summon like Satan as an actual deity and stuff, and they're getting really wild with it. He said it ruined his life. He said shadow people started showing up, and everything went to shit for him. And he has this whole box of stuff, and he comes to the museum one day. He's like, please just take this, and I'm. Yes, I will take your horrible life in a box. And now we have it. And it was wild. She put a salt circle around this thing when we put it away. And then for however reason, it's in a case.
Fully enclosed antique glass and wood case. Okay. It's in front of our window, which there's a velvet curtain draped in front of it. Okay.
Only the finest materials at our house.
Fully enclosed case. I put a salt circle. It's in the case. Okay. So the thing is on the bottom shelf of the case, salt circle around it, close the case, fully enclosed. Well, when we did our thing in San Antonio, we were at the Annabelle event. So maybe we're cursed from that too, whatever.
No, we're not cursed from the non-haunted.
No, I didn't feel anything from Annabelle. I gave her a little kiss on the forehead. It was fine. We vibed. Yeah. But anyway.
Better not let that priest they brought see you.
He was, I think, dying of heat stroke as well. But the curtain, I pulled the curtain off because I brought it as like the opening of our tent, and I take it off, and literally the bottom of the curtain, okay, which is behind the case, which is fully enclosed, there's a fucking salt line all along the bottom of the curtain.
Like I was the salt being like teleported or pushed. It's teleported. It's a weird thing to say. Pushed out of the thing.
Yeah, I have no idea. I have zero.
I have to see this now. I have to see this.
Here, do you want to turn this around? So
because it's all plugged. So when we get up, when we kind of do a tour, we'll show them when we get there. That way, it's not up and down and up and down. Oh, you'll see it. You'll see it. Okay. You ought to just come over and party and drink some bottle of wine. We get real weird.
I don't drink wine, but I can put back some whiskey.
I got you.
I know you do, boo. I know you do.
Yeah, y'all come on down. We have a guest room.
Because here's the truth. I'm sure Shelly's house is haunted, right? Because she's like the wild card. She's the Charlie Kelly of the group. So I think bring her into this house, it just helps.
Oh, I think I think if all of us were in here, shit's gonna get fucking wild.
Mhm.
I'm
That
down.
would
Let's do
be
it.
like Ghost Gone Wild, okay? Like too hot for TV.
See what's Hurricane sniffing at?
Yeah,
Right
and
there.
look, Hurricane literally got up right now and he's over at that fucking case looking at
I
it.
want to see that case really bad. I am
Well-
imagining the claw that you have in there. I want to see it so bad right
Can
now.
I just like turn this?
We will when we do it in a second. But to be fair, it's a wild case. It's the Bell Witch rocks, and it's the apported glass, and it's the Hill House
Has the Hill
items,
House
and it's got
stuff.
all kinds of crap.
Well,
I like how their dynamic, Shelly, is very you and I.
It is. Just
can
chaos
can I
unleashed.
just show it? Just show it. We'll get there in a minute. Don't worry.
Yeah, that's what I do. I'm like, can I just get it? It's fine. Can I just get it? Eventually, you're gonna give in, Damien. So
Didn't you guys have sigils from that cloth show up on the mirror right across
Yes.
from it too?
Yes.
The mirror is
wild.
right.
Yeah.
Hold on, you can see it. Yeah, there,
You see the reflection of it. You see it.
right
Yeah.
behind you.
Yeah. So the cloth was over here, so you could see it in the reflection.
They were directly across from each other.
We'd gone to Lockhart to investigate this place, this restaurant, this bar, and we're there, and we have this wild Estes session where Nicole's under, and she hears very clearly, "Go home," and it affected Nicole in a way I've never seen before. It's actually
Well-
the very first investigation that we left.
The only investigation that we have ever left, because not only did I hear that, I got a flash in my head, like so clear, just of the house, of fire, of car accidents, like all of these bad things. And then I'm hearing it and I was like, we gotta go.
Well,
We gotta go.
and right before that, we had put up essentially what you would call a Marian altar in our downstairs, right? Something in the house didn't like that at all. So we're doing this session. Nicole hears, go home. We leave. Eric, the para he's following us. I think that was the night he was like missing time on the ride home. Everything was
Yeah,
really
'cause
weird.
He was seeing shit.
Everything was weird. We get back and we all come up here to the museum area and we're talking, and Eric kind of interjects and he's looking at the mirror. He goes, "Did someone write something on the mirror?" I said, "No." And we look and you see this writing, and we look, and it's like it came off the reflection of this.
Yeah.
It was really crazy,
It was
man.
mirrored. It was literally mirrored of like somebody had drawn in the dust of the sigils that were on the cloth that was directly across from it.
No, that's a no for me, dog.
no, I'm all in.
Nah.
I'm all in.
The
Yeah.
fuck you are.
No, I am all in.
We'll cleanse her afterwards. It'll be fine. We'll cleanse her and send her home.
Shelly's gonna come by, see the sigils in the mirror, and she's gonna grab the cloth herself and wrap herself in and be like, "Yes, I'm so ready to."
I'd be like, I'm ready for my
Let's do
close up,
it."
Mr. DeVille. Yeah,
I already did it. It's okay. It's fine.
it'll be fine. It'll be fine.
Yeah,
By the way,
until this happens. I'm gonna say this last thing that happened recently, because this is actually just wild. Even for me, it's like too hot, right? Too hot for TV. We wake up one night, and this is no joke, very visible. This was a couple weeks ago. 10 or more shadow bruvs in the freaking bedroom, coming on the bed, everything else.
Yeah, this is
wildly visible. We both see them. We're just like, what the hell, man?
Well, he gets woken up because
You're
I'm
grabbing at
literally
things.
leaning over him going like this, and he wakes up and he's like, "What are you doing?" I'm like, "I'm trying to see if they're physical," because I've seen shadow things around my bed literally my entire life. I have never seen them get on the bed.
Well, and that many literally looked like it was like a house party
Yeah,
in the,
like
in the room. Like, there was
What
all
the
over.
hell?
It was wild. And we're just sitting there like, all right, rock and roll. You know?
Dude, I think I've seen this porno before. This is hot.
Let me know where you can get that on VHS, brother.
So, and I know you guys just talked to Heidi Hollis too, and her opinion on shadow figures, where she says it's all negative. It's all, trying to bait you into.
Time out. Before we go to that
Right.
question, can I hear the end of the story? So they're all climbing on the bed, and then what happened?
Nothing. I mean,
we went to sleep.
Yes.
No,
like,
no.
what do you do?
They're coming at you like this on the bed,
I
and
swear
just
to
suddenly
shit.
you're like,
Yes, this is
Yeah.
our life, dude. We're laying in the bed, and the last time
Right.
I saw anything like this was the night after Waverly
Yeah.
in our motel room at the time, and I'd never seen anything like that in my life. Like, they were all over the place. One looked like it was coming out of the mirror, like it was weird, dude. Even you, they were like, "That's a lot." Like, they're everywhere. So, like, when it happened the other night, like, what do you do? Because there's a part of you that like keeps looking, and you want to think to yourself, "Okay, I'm going to judge this. Am I just making this up?" Like, you always want to ask that at first when you're seeing something like this.
Asleep? Am I
Well, no, yeah,
hallucinating?
that's the thing. Any of my shadow experiences, I believe you're the same. I've never been during a sleep or just like she
Not
woke me
during
up
sleep.
and I'm up. Like,
Yeah.
and I'm seeing these things. I'm like, what the hell? Because we see them in the room all the time, but that many was a bit wild. And they're kind of, doing this number. I saw one of those damn spider ones the other night.
Yeah.
And that's not good for me. All right.
No.
So you just go to sleep.
You
on a fucking
usually
sheet that's got handprints of an apparent.
usually I'll say something like, "Bros, like, just fucking, can you like get out of here? Like, go not in the room."
Because what are we gonna do? We can't like call the local sheriff's department. Like, I need you to come in. There's shadow
I'm just
people
like,
in the
you
room.
can fucking watch, but like, stay over there. God.
So wait, hold on. Follow-up question, because I gotta know. What the fuck do y'all do to stop this shit from happening, or do you even fucking care?
They go to sleep.
Well, so here's the deal. Shelly's right. We do have differing opinions on this, right? Like, if you want a cleansing, Nicole's your gal, right? Personally, I think it would take a lot more than basic cleansing that people like us even do to prevent these things if they want to be there. I just see no rational thought of like we can just command this world that we know nothing about. Right?
It has been. You did say the other day when we got back from this road trip, because the last leg of the trip, we won't go into too much detail because it was wild, but
horrible.
the last place that we stayed, we literally left because we were afraid for our physical well-being. Okay, it was not good, and we're leaving. Damian sees a fucking shadow thing, walk right past. We're like, get the fuck out, and we get back to the house.
We have
finally.
to kind of dive into this one, because you're right. I did like. This is the one time I was like, Nicole, do some kind of a cleansing. Like, do I think it's going to...
The only time he has ever said, you need to cleanse the house.
Yeah,
when we got back.
And that was actually out of fear, because on our trip, one of the places that we stayed was not like your typical, hey, we're paranormal bruvs looking for a haunted location. It was a fucking extended stay.
I think it was in South Kansas City.
Yeah, shithole part of Kansas City, okay? And it was rough. Okay, but we get up to the room, and the wildest thing is I'm having panic attack feelings, and I don't get panic attacks. I don't, I'm cool, calm, and collect.
That whole night, and
the whole night,
too.
and I'm waking up, and everything's horrible. I wake up the next morning, and I'm like, Nicole, this is just, it feels so awful. Like, and in my mind, I'm like, we're gonna get like cased here, and like all of our shit's gonna get robbed.
And Eric was feeling really bad
Eric
too,
was
and
feeling really bad.
both were feeling
so
like sick.
I'm fussing with the blanket, and there's rust-colored stain on the goddamn blanket. Which, come on, man, we know what that is. That's obviously blood, and I'm just like feeling bad. So we leave there, and I notice I start to feel better. We all decided that day, like, we're just gonna not stay there. We're gonna go stay at the Belvoir Winery, right? We're gonna do that. But we went back to get our bags, man. And I go in this room, and I'm the only one in there. I'm getting my bag, and I'm feeling it. I'm feeling this panic attack come on. And as I'm in the bathroom collecting my stuff, I see it. This shadow being just walk by. Now, he was lower, which makes me think he was like the crawler dude that I've seen in Hill House and some of these places. And it just scared the shit out of me. But it wasn't like a jump scare. It was a very dreadful feeling. So I get back in the car, and I'm having those panic attack feelings again, which again, I don't get. And Nicole's like, yeah, I'm getting vibes that there was a murder here or something, or a stabbing or something to that effect. Well, we start looking it up, and sure as shit,
we fucking found it.
We found
the news article.
And if there's one, there's probably many, it was a rough little motel. I still have the key card from the room and the envelope that it came in. We are fairly certain, though, that something from there came home with us off the trip.
Yeah, because we were hearing stuff like the entire. It was like 2 days afterwards. It was pretty intense, and there was even one moment we were both sitting on the couch and we're just watching TV, whatever. And sometimes Hurricane will look at stuff, and I don't know, is he hearing something we can't or whatever? Who knows? But he looks at something over by the front door, and then you're like, dude, something's literally walking back and forth by the front door. And I look, and I'm like, holy shit. And then we start hearing something behind us. It literally sounds like somebody's like scratching around back there, like somebody's walking around, whatever, shuffling. And then both Hurricane and Millie, the cat,
Millicent,
they both fucking sit up, same exact time. They look, they both get up, walk over to the same fucking area, okay? And they don't really like interact with each other much, you know? So for both of them to do that, and then we're hearing it, we were just like, oh shit. And that was when you were like, dude, you gotta do a fucking cleansing.
Yeah, because whatever was at that motel, I think was not good for me at all. I didn't
think it was
like
created by the energy that
of
is
the place.
in there. Like it was, not good things happening there.
Yeah.
I mean, Eric was literally sitting the night we got in. He was sitting in his room, sitting at the window, watching this guy
casing cars and trying to break in. So it was just lots of bad stuff going down there. Anyway, I feel like we've like taken over y'all's show. I'm so sorry. We just talked so much.
Sorry. We asked for the answer. So
yeah. So has it backed off now, or is it still pretty active?
You know, the weird thing is, I feel like ever since we put that Marian altar up, it comes in these waves, and it's like it doesn't like that at all. We've recently started wearing miraculous metals even, and it doesn't like any of that. On the trip, in fact, I was wearing a bracelet that had miraculous metals on it, and it just popped off. Like it broke. It just, and that doesn't just happen. I guess. I mean, it can, but like weird circumstances. So has it backed off? I think yes.
I mean, but I don't know. My water bottle got knocked off the counter today, so I don't know.
Who knows? And
I think that's like one thing. It's nice to hear these stories, honestly, from other people who also bring things into your house. I know these two on this side of the screen, they don't bring a whole lot of stuff into their house. I am one of those. I'm open to it. Whatever I collected, I also get handed shit by people. So it's kind of nice to know that there's other people out there who are experiencing this shit in their house too. And you kind of do just kind of, whatever, you just kind of throw caution to the wind with it. And when it gets a little out of hand, you're like, maybe, I should probably do a little bit of cleansing here. But I'm going to agree with you, Damian, on what you said earlier to touch on that, is that I honestly think in some cases it's not going to help. If they want to be here, and especially if you have the items inside the house, I mean, there's not much you can do if they
correct. And I've always found it funny that we, as people that are in this world, we will look at it and it's almost like we really don't take it serious, and we'll make cleansing and kind of a more of a fun thing. And I understand that energy is helpful and it's positive, but imagine the real world. If I'm a bruv that wants to come into your house and do you some harm, I'm not going to not do it because you told me to. The only way that you're going to get me to stop is if you call authorities and there's other people involved in this whole rigmarole thing and everything else. So I don't know. I just think it's odd that we look at that world that we interact with. Like, I feel the same way about when people say, oh, I conjured a spirit to do work for me. And I'm thinking to myself, I'm like, well, wait just a damn minute here. Are you saying that you condone slavery? No. Well, think about it. Oh, it's just a ghost. Well, that's not slaves. You know what I mean? Like, and I find that odd, and I find that scary to me, because if when we die, the afterlife is I'm sitting around and wherever it is I go, and I've got some asshole from the suburbs who's
can rub a magic lamp.
Yeah, and I have to do what he wants. You know what I mean? Like, he's making me wear fairy boots and dance around for his benefit. Like, I don't want to do it. It's
right. I will say, for me, well, to your point about
it's a Thursday night for me.
And he makes you train his wiener, right? That's totally inappropriate.
That's part of the wiener trainer initiation.
It is. You have to wear the fairy boots. That's
the fairy boots and dance around.
Required.
I might have some Ugg boots, actually. No, but I think no, because they're not waterproof.
No, but to your point, what you were.
It's very important, Shelly. Don't ask questions.
The Ugg boot. Yeah, you can't. Yeah,
you can't. You spend $200 on them and it rains.
It's alarming that you know that. But anyway, to your point, what you were saying about the cleansing, that's why in my workings, I prefer to work with spirits. And when I say work with spirits, I am not summoning them against their will. It's the perk of having haunted items, okay, is yes, there's altars all over our house, right? Like, I give them offerings and, butter them up. And if they want to happen to help me fuck some shit up, great, that's amazing, right? But also, like, that's if I'm doing something like a cleansing or a circle or whatever, and it's the same. We've had this conversation before on the pod about like the shamanic shit and whatever. It's like, and even mediumship, I'm like, dude, I'm not doing anything. Like, you know, it's who I'm working with and who I'm calling in. Like, they're doing the stuff. Like, I'm not a freaking spirit. I don't know how that works. I don't know what's going on over there, you know, but I can like have my spirits that I work with and that help me out. You know what I'm saying?
Well, I love that you think that way. You're not like cracking whips, right? Like, get over here, ghost, and make me eat eggs. Like, it's just, it's a weird thing when people say that.
I mean, it's literally like, think about it like a freaking workplace. Okay. We've all had those shitty bosses that think that by being mean to you, you're going to do better work. It's like, dude, give me more fucking time off, bring in some free fucking food and like be nice to me. And maybe I'd be more inclined to like do things for you.
Just got the download. Here's the new thing we do. We need to be the first paranormal HR department.
Paranormal HR.
I'm here for that.
I'm actually I fucking hate HR.
We would not be good HR because it's like, hey, bruvs, if you don't want to do it, that's cool.
I would be like if they made Michael Scott HR of Dunder Mifflin. What it would be like, and you would be like Dwight.
No,
you're Angela. You are Angela. Yeah,
I'm not.
Nobody wants to be Toby.
Well, no, Toby's pretty cool. Nobody. Yeah, that's right, Toby. I thought you meant Kevin. No, nobody wants to be Toby. Toby's the worst. Toby is gross. Toby's gross.
I like the terminology that you use, Nicole, on that, because that's kind of the way that I feel. It's like I tell people all the time, like, you know, whenever I give them a private reading or work with spirit dice or anything like that, it's kind of like, I cannot go, yo, grandma, come on down here and talk with me type thing. Like your spirits that are on your spiritual team or surround you or are currently with you or guarding you, whatever, that's what I can tap into and connect with. That's what I feel like I can work with in my house. When shit gets real in this house, I'm like, yo, you know, fucking Avengers Assemble, like get them, you know, tame it down just a little bit or something.
Exactly.
Yeah.
Please tell me you do it though with the old like Avengers Assemble, like that would.
Actually, what it is, Damian, is I actually have a very nice old school Scarlet Witch outfit that I go slip into.
Yes.
I come like floating out of the bedroom.
Old school Scarlet Witch, though.
Yes.
Okay.
Yeah, like come floating out of the bedroom, and then I land, and I'm just like, you know.
Damn,
that's it. It's not. It's very anticlimactic towards the end.
No,
you know?
What do you mean?
Floating out of the bedroom.
You're like, and then I descend from the heavens like a beautiful array of witchery.
Every spooky girl's dream. That's literally all I want in life.
Yes.
Come to my house and I can make it happen.
It sounds like a Hammer horror film. You know what I mean? Like
I'm on my way.
These old palaces and like there's like the flowing robes and the descent from the floating. Like that, a descent from floating is about as climactic as it gets. I promise you.
That's true.
So Nicole, you were talking about working with your spiritual team or whatever. I know that you also deal with the Fae a little bit. Have you ever had that like go south on you?
Great segue, Ryan. Great segue.
Hey,
Thanks for pulling us out of that shit hole.
Maybe this is just me being a narcissist. Damian hates when I say this, but I fancy to say that I am part Fae because you know I'm little.
That's not. Yeah.
No.
Wait, does that mean I'm part Fae too?
What?
Does that mean I'm part Fae too? I'm 5'2".
No, you're just a demon.
You can be part Fae, part demon. Listen, I'm a both and girly, okay? Maybe I'm a demonic Fae. Actually, I think I would prefer that.
I think that most
I'm a demonic
Fae are what people referred to as demonic in the first place. Fae are not, they're not love and light creatures. They're not, they might be, they're shorter than 5'2". And,
they're Tinkerbells.
Well, there's nothing Tinkerbell about Fae. I want to be very clear about this.
No,
there's nothing.
They're mischievous. So no, I've never asked them to do anything. Like I would never do any sort of working involving them. You know, if I'm going to do anything involving elementals, I'll do, you know, I guess it would be like chaos witchcraft, right? Where you like, people will be like, oh, like go, you know, write down what the person did to you and throw it into the river and let the river spirits deal with it. You know, like I can get behind something like that, but I'm not gonna. Yeah, Fae is
if you
mischievous. I've never like done workings with them. I'll leave little offerings, and yeah, we have little like Fae candles around the house and stuff. But
if you want to dive into the Fae, our buddy Barry Fitzgerald, you got to look into him. He has written some interesting stuff about Fae, and then Dr. Jack Hunter, who does a lot of work on psychedelics, but also the paranormal world and those legends and lore, like the Fae and things like that, and sirens and whatnot, and how that equates to modern day paranormal. Interesting stuff. But yeah, nothing Tinkerbell about Fae.
No.
Nothing Tinkerbell. Yeah,
That's how they lure you in.
Fucking well.
I love it. It's hot. I'm not gonna lie. That's hot. I mean, it just is. You know, I've always wanted to be lured in by a siren.
Yeah,
and then
that's literally just my goal in life is to lure men to their deaths.
Yeah, to a water.
Yes.
Yeah.
Don't eat the food.
Shelly's got a great.
You ate it,
Nicole. Y'all.
Oh, I did.
After this.
Join forces, Nicole. Join me. Awkward pause.
Oh, did we get an awkward pause? Trust me, I can keep going. Yeah.
No, I was gonna say that's because we're trying to figure out the segue to get out of this shithole that we now found. This whole episode is just been a
hey,
shithole.
Brian,
That's it.
you had a question about Bree Hollisworth that I interrupted you because I had to have the end of the
Oh,
Heidi,
no, Heidi. Yeah, Heidi Hollis. So when you guys, because you had had Heidi Hollis, say that 5 times fast. You had Heidi Hollis on your show recently, and she was talking about how shadow figures are all negative and how, you know, there's nothing good about them whatsoever. So having heard that, and I know it kind of changed your outlook a little bit on shadow figures. And we kind of had that conversation. When you're seeing whatever that is in your bedroom, you have 10 around your bed and they're sitting on your bed. How scared
like
shitless
a
are
jerk,
you?
Man.
Thank you. I told you I'd seen this porno before. Fuck. Anyway, sorry, Ryan. Your beautiful question. Go ahead.
No, so how scared shitless are you when you see this?
I mean, I was not scared.
Yeah.
It just felt.
Did you believe they were all evil?
Mm-hmm.
No, I mean, I will.
We've had this conversation, haven't we? Like,
yeah.
privately. We have, and I
trust my vibe. I'm a vibe check girly.
Yeah.
Like, I don't know. It didn't feel like anything malevolent. Like, it didn't feel good. I'll say that. Like, it wasn't like, wow, there's rainbows and butterflies.
That's the thing, isn't it, though? Is when you meet people, certain people, like people, if you look at testimonies of people that met, Ted Bundy.
Right.
There's never this overwhelming fear that this person's going to do something, but and I don't know about that guy. I don't know. It doesn't feel good.
Yes.
Right.
And I can tell you for me specifically, any of the interactions that are wild phenomena of the shadow folk type, where I'm wide awake and I'm in the middle of doing something and there they are, only once did it feel not negative to me. And that was at Waverly, where we basically saw what I believe is a recording, probably coming from some future AI in the Waverly Hills Hall, where we saw the shadow wave. And that was the only time I ever felt not negative by these things. But then, of course, Heidi did make a good point. The child murderer is going to get the ice cream truck.
You in,
you know,
like the sirens.
So I don't know, man. I think for me that's a tough one because they don't ever feel positive. I will say that. Even at Waverly, it was indifferent.
Yeah.
But that wave was interesting to me, I think. But it is. It's kind of like, give me attention.
I think for me, the like vibe check and kind of what you're getting at is like, yes, there's a large gray area spectrum of the, you know, this feels fine or good or whatever. And then there's the like, I'm not really sure, all the way to this definitely does not feel good. Right. So I'm like, well, if it's not a yes, it's a no. Yeah.
And the thing that's always got me about these shadow beings is if they're able to come into this sort of environment where we can physically see them, okay? Like, because we know that y'all have a great picture of one wearing white boots for crying out loud, which is awesome. So it's someone made him wear these white boots, right?
Yeah.
And I think it's weird to me that when you see them most often, they're gone. Like they don't want you to see them. That leads me to believe it's a bit more nefarious than maybe we even think. I don't know. So I'm still, I don't know yet on that one. I'm not definitive.
But I mean,
there.
that didn't happen in the room the other night.
No.
They were fucking chilling.
They were getting on the damn bed. And look, I'm going to have
vibing.
Talk about confessions. I'm going to say it. I'm going to out myself here, okay? The one experience I've not had in the paranormal is banging, right? So here's the deal. So, literally, when you've got them in there, there's that part of you that's like, okay, am I going to have my Dan Aykroyd moment in Ghostbusters?
I think you just need to reach out to Zach Bagans.
Yeah.
And I think he might be able to facilitate.
Should I hit him up on his Twitter?
Yeah, I think you should download Tinder. Well, actually, I'll download Tinder.
Yeah.
And find it, and then be like, hey, I think I would play well with your demons.
That's what it said on the Tinder.
Yes, yeah. Will your demon play well
in.
with mine?
That'll be the end.
Wait, real quick. Do you think that like when they go to that first date, he meets on Tinder or whatever, they go to I don't know where they go, coffee shop, whatever.
They go to the museum.
They sit down and he's like, hi, nice to meet you. I'm Zach Bagans. Tonight, I'm here in a coffee shop with you, getting to know you to see if I want to put my wiener in you.
I think we just saw actual footage of Zach Bagans on a Tinder date. Yes.
There's just
watching. Please reach out and let us know.
Exactly.
I was gonna say
he says women are something I can never understand.
I was gonna say, yeah, there's just that echo behind him.
Oh, like when he gets broken up with, and she's like, I don't want to see you anymore, Zach. He's like, why? I don't understand.
I want answers.
Oh, that derailed. I think Shelly was abducted by a UFO.
I thought
she was abducted by Zach Bagans. Somebody send her help. Shelly, we will not let that happen.
I thought the echo would happen on the word wiener, but that's just me. Wiener. Sorry.
Well, that's got to be the next. Like, literally, we should just make a spoof, right? Like,
there's a girl on TikTok who's doing it, and they're fucking hilarious.
Oh, really?
She wears like one of those foam muscle suits. Oh, they're so good. They're so good.
I should get one of those.
You need to send me this. I have to see it.
Then maybe we'll get popular because we'll finally have six-pack abs.
Yeah. What if we get caught for like faking it? People will realize maybe I'm wearing a strong suit.
Yeah, I think that'll be the allure, though. It's like, hey, we have six-pack abs that won't go away no matter how many pieces of pizza we eat.
Six-pack home.
Yeah. We're idiots.
I'm so sorry to do this to your podcast.
Kick us off.
No, this is precisely the reason why we have y'all on. Because here's the thing: we tell people all the daggone time. We're like, listen, yes, what we do take very seriously, but there is no fucking reason why we can't act like goddamn idiots half the time,
right?
While we're doing what we love to do.
Listen, we can be very knowledgeable and very good and very serious about what we do.
Scholarly.
But also, we can still have personalities.
Right.
And that's okay. Paging the paranormal world. We don't all have to be serious and scary all the time.
No, we have to be serious and scowl and wear black t-shirts and cross our arms all the time, 24/7.
Well, I mean, we've got one of those down. We all are in black tonight. So
that's why I hope no one's taking this, but what we want to do, and we need to do it really immediately, is we want to cut old like 80s WWF promos videos like before investigations, right? So we're going into a place like, Waverly Hills, I'm coming for you. Yeah, if any shadows are in there and they want to wave at me, I'm gonna wave back. Let me kill you. You know what I mean? Like that would be amazing to do before every single investigation.
That'd be fucking awesome. I'm so down for that.
Yeah.
Nicole, you're the ring girl going round one.
I'll walk around in the back holding the.
No, you gotta be Scary Sherry, man.
I don't even know who that
That was
is.
literally my first crush, man.
Scary Sherry. Sherry Martell. Yeah, I know
She
exactly
was
what you're talking about.
$1 Million Man's manager there for a while.
And
Back in the
Macho
90s.
King.
And Macho King.
Was she actually scary?
Yeah, I think so. And she
People
was
were actually scared of her. If so, yes.
Sure, because she would help him. Like she would help $1 Million Man cheat to win fights. And I've always wanted to be a heel wrestler or like a heel wrestler.
People to actually be scared of me. That's all.
Yeah. Well,
I mean, there's also Luna Vachon. Luna Vachon was more like on like the spooky side of stuff. So
I think anyone that was, I think when China was a heel, she was scary.
Great. Oh yeah, she totally could be.
China was scary.
Man, I just realized this is like a great cross section of like America right now, where there's 2 women, 2 straight guys, and a gay guy on the screen, and like 3 out of those 5 have no fucking clue what's actually happening right now in this.
Hey, we're talking
the streets have taken over the conversation and turned it to wrestling.
Wait, I'd have to ask, like, wouldn't that like wrestling be awesome to you then? Like to me, even I get titillated. I'm like, man, those shorts are badass, dude. Like it's great, you know. Those dudes got some,
can't say that it had.
Damn.
So.
Macho Man, even Ric Flair, high flying, Rolex wearing, kiss stealing son of a gun.
I'm gonna be honest. When I watched in elementary school, I was more interested in the ladies.
Yeah, the ladies are great.
Yeah.
Oh, they kill it nowadays.
Yeah.
Especially now that they're wrestling and not just hype people.
Rhea Ripley, killing it.
Yes. Shout out to Eric who just showed me pictures of her. Chef's kiss.
Oh, Eric did show me. Yeah.
Chef's
hang on. Hey, Shelly, hang on. I'll solve our problems. 1 second. All right, there we go.
Okay, now we can continue talking.
Damn it, I got
technology. I have solved the problem.
Oh man, I can't think of anything that makes me go softer quicker. Anywho,
I'm sorry you're uncultured. Okay.
Yes, I have that effect on people.
So wait, you guys. Now you guys said in the green room she had a surprise that you were going to show.
Oh yeah.
Is there something that you, because you didn't show us beforehand, but in the green room you said you had something you wanted to show us.
Never done before.
No, we actually do it all the time. Oh, live
on air.
Yeah, we actually haven't. This bro reached out. You got a hold of this person.
Yes. They reached out. So this is from their mother-in-law, their late mother-in-law. Of course, when somebody passes, you end up with all of their belongings, right? Mm-hmm. And they're unpacking things, and in one of the boxes, there's something locked up in a box. Okay, so they're like, oh, what's in here? Let's open the box.
What's in the box?
You look at things that are expensive or valuable, right?
They open the box, and
well, hold on. First, so we have to show them what it came with.
No. Just we have to give the full effect. So they open the box.
I'm gonna full screen y'all. Hold on.
And see
this crazy looking bro.
This creepy ass thing.
What was that?
It's a little puppy dog or something.
They see this creepy.
Oh God, no!
What
is that?
It's a lamb, right?
I think it's like a panda bear, bear, teddy bear.
From the 1950s, at least,
with a human face.
Yeah, and the eyes move, and it's creepy as hell. Okay, so they're like, all right, well, I don't know what the hell that is, but that's weird, I guess. So the guy tells us that their house is 2 stories. Okay, the first sign that something was going awry was he brings it upstairs and he says, I put it on the printer. 100% it was on the printer. I know that is where I put it. Okay.
Chad he says it's a Teletubby reject.
Teletubby reject. Yes, that is in fact, I think that is the TM. But so he's like, I put
trademark, I get you.
Yeah, trademark.
Yeah.
So he's like, yeah, I put it on the printer. Then I go back up there and it was moved. It was on the table. So it moved. We already have movement. Okay. And then he said that everybody in the family, okay, they have 2 kids and his wife, they just start hearing random weird things like shuffling around, whatever, when it sounds like somebody's home, but nobody's there, and, noises that you can't identify. So that starts happening. And they're like, well, that's weird, I guess. Then they started seeing shadow people, he said. But then the kicker was their daughter was upstairs and their kids' rooms are across from each other. Okay. Their daughter's upstairs in her room. She comes downstairs and she's mad. She's like, you need to tell the brother, you need to tell him to be quiet. He's making way too much noise and it's so loud up there. Yeah, guess where the brother was? Not in his room. He was down. He was downstairs. So the wife was like, no, get this thing out of here immediately. Yeah. So
if your wife wants you to clear out your house, items from your house, call us.
Yeah, those are actually my favorite things that we get.
So the possessed panda, the noise? The possessed panda is who was making all the noise?
Yeah, that's what they think it was, because he said that none of it started until they opened that box.
Yeah, so he wanted to get rid of it. We drove all the way out to Georgetown, which actually I know we're like way I don't know if we're over time for y'all, but do we want to give them just like pick up the laptop and tour the museum for them? Actually,
yes.
Well, Shelly wants to see the case.
Yeah,
I gotta see the case.
You want to unplug the technology, and
I have to leave it plugged into this though, right?
Oh yeah, for the audio.
Okay, so I can unplug this. I can unplug this.
Hello there. I'll be your guide.
So
Shit.
this right here is the case that we're talking about.
The case in question.
So it's fully enclosed. Okay, this is glass. The back of it, you can see the yellow. It's like wood. The weird demon shit is on the bottom there. So it's fully closed in. So you can see this curtain right behind it here. This is the curtain that when I took it off all along the entire bottom was a line of salt.
Huh.
So this is actually a radical cabinet because here we have a collection of Bell Witch rocks from the Bell Witch Cave, which have brought us much joy and entertainment. We recently drove cross country with one again on our Chicago trip recently here. And this is a very emotional and special piece for us. It is, like we told you, the brick handmade on the property when Octagon Hall was being built. Bear
In Franklin, Kentucky.
R.I.P., who was curator at the time, gave that to us. You're going to see a bunch of glass here. This is all glass apportated glass
From one of our cases.
from one of our cases we were on, and glass has been following us ever since. Down
I
here,
just stepped on glass earlier.
Yeah.
That was where it
Oh
came
shit.
you're going to have some Hill House items. You've got the Haitian voodoo drum that was in Hill House. We now have it. You have one of the dolls from there. This rock, the house literally gave me. That's a fun story.
We have Jeff.
We have what we call Jeff. Well,
No, I'm talking about the skull.
Oh, the skull.
That's
Yeah, that's the
Steve.
skull cap. Here's what we were using. One of the things we were using to conjure Jeff. Oop.
Oh my god.
That's a literal, it's a
Just hit Jeff's head.
human skull cap.
Oh my
See,
gosh.
Oh wow.
Jesus.
Human skull cap there. This little bruv was our Philip experiment.
That's Steve.
He's made of human bones and a skull, turtle skull. And
Oh
Think we're
no.
losing them.
Oh no, they
Think we're
froze.
Yep, think we're losing you guys.
I think
Fucking
Jeff's
film.
pissed because they hit his
he didn't
head.
want to be on film, dude. He didn't want
Yeah.
to be on film.
Yeah,
I'm
Jeff
telling you
was
right now.
pissed.
Well,
Steve.
we made him, and we had him in the museum, and we would tell people to like put whatever negative emotions, energy on it, and people started seeing shadow figures after about 8 months of having him there. So he's our little experiment. He worked. Down there is that altar cloth again that we were talking about. Right here just happens to be a sweet Civil War era sword. This was it's not ours. This is on loan to the museum from our para roadie Eric. Belonged to his grandpa, I believe.
Cool.
As it were. Let's see up here. Oh, one of my favorite things. I wouldn't say haunted here, but this is killer. This is a print of Dr. Death, Dr. Kevorkian, his artwork. It's hand signed and hand numbered by Dr. Kevorkian himself.
Oh, wow.
So we love that. So let's come on over here. Let's move these things. All right, there we go. Yeah. Mm-hmm.
Okay.
Welcome to Lifestyles of the Not Rich and Famous.
There's the tail.
I feel like we're on a poorly produced episode of Cribs right now. Like,
Amazing. Yeah.
On TV and welcome to our crib.
Yeah. It's more
This is where
like,
the magic happens.
hello, America. Welcome to our house. Over here, we've got some wild stuff. This judging looking character here, Jesus. This print was from a haunting in Los Angeles in the early 80s, the Moffat family haunting. Why this is relevant? Yeah, there's the whole thing with pictures from the haunting. The Warrens investigated it. Love them or hate them, whatever. We've got opinions. Still historical for the paranormal. They investigated it. Lorraine Warren was quoted as saying, "Oh, Ed, it's the most ancient demon I've ever encountered." So, yeah. So the family was nice enough to send us that piece because it would go flying off the wall whenever the entity would show up,
And
which is
then
cool.
This mirror that you see.
Oh,
on
yeah.
the floor.
This is brand new.
Because she doesn't have a home yet. You guys are getting 2 new items.
Oh snap!
oh hell yeah!
It's from that is from the infamously haunted
Driscoll
Hotel. That
Wow.
was in one of the rooms because they are renovating it right now, which I have a lot of feelings about.
Yes, and they're modernizing the bar.
But anyway,
We're not
Oh
going to
no!
we were able to acquire quite a few pieces from the room at the Driscoll. So that is one of them.
Yep. We have a sweet child's coffin from the late 1800s here. It's seen better days. Various items over here. We've got murder bottles aplenty. You can't really see them if we go that way. If we
hair library.
Oh yeah, we are book fanatics. I mean, downstairs is bookshelves, up here is bookshelves. These are all like paranormal books and psychic books and everything else.
There's the nipple biter mirror.
Yeah, the nipple biter.
There's our
Wait, what?
Our creepy grub.
Yeah, you don't know about that?
No.
Oh,
dude.
Well.
Yeah, the mirror, which is one of our wildest items for sure. I love the way I'm holding this microphone. Hello, I'm Skip Scagnetti with Paranormal News. No, that mirror caused a guy in San Antonio to freak out and bite his wife's nipple off in a fit of mania. Long story short, kind of wild. Okay, that's it. That's what I said. And I've had people come into the museum and say like, well, that sounds fun. And then I've had the exact opposite. So you never know what you're going to get.
We don't kink shame here, Damian. We don't kink shame.
There it is.
And then there's our ITC setup.
Oh yeah, you can see a lot of that little cubby hole. Again, when I say the man cave, that's the man cave. I'm very,
urn over here. You want to show the urn?
Oh, the urn is great. Yeah.
Bring that little bruv on over here.
Well, this is a beautiful piece. This is a beautiful, beautiful portrait urn.
Oh, wow.
From the Victorian era there. Now, this is special to me because when Nicole and I first met, I had this museum, this collection, and bless you, buddy. And, people would come in all the time. I'm a medium, I'm a psychic and everything else. And I
did not introduce myself to you as a medium.
Correct.
I do not ever introduce myself that way.
So I can be kind of a jerk with some of these people for sure. And I had certain items in the museum on display that were specifically there for when these people would come in. So I could basically get my own read on them, see if they were BS, and then send them on their way. Nicole didn't react to any of those items, but she did go to this one. And what's funny is I know a bit about this item. So are y'all familiar with New Jersey Paranormal? They put on the big fest up there. Yeah. Well, I had to track these dudes down because an oddities dealer that I like to work with, I gatekeep them, by the way. He said, hey, I've got this item that came in. It's apparently haunted. All I know is there's some book out there that has like a full-blown account of it. I don't know the book, don't have it. He goes, but there's a group called New Jersey Paranormal that looked it up, that investigated it. And I had no idea these guys were worth the time. So I immediately got the item from my buddy. And then I had to track down New Jersey Paranormal. And I reached out. I said, do you guys know anything about an urn? They're like, yeah, we don't know. I'm like, okay. So I start watching videos of their investigations of the Creeper Gallery Red Room over and over and over, all these little videos. And I see it in one of the videos in the corner. I'm like, oh, and so I sent them that video, go that right there. And then they gave me a rundown of activity and how it made their gizmos go off. And anyways, Nicole comes in and she picks it up and she's like, I feel like there's another one of these and it's maybe like a red or a pink or something like this. And I know for a fact there is a second one. I know the guy who has it. He won't give it to me, but this bruv's sister, I guess, it would have been, also met an untimely demise and has an urn as well, which is pink.
Oh wow!
So when you had said that, I was like, "Tell me more. You're cooking my bacon, right?" So
that's so rad.
There's that little bruv, and then here's our doll area. Sorry, my big ass chair is in the way.
Oh, we got the Victorian morning dress there too.
Our morning dress. We have another mirror directly across from the haunted mirror.
Well, actually, that mirror is an experiment for me. And a lot of times you can see me in the reflection. So it's kind of an experiment for me because that mirror, no one knows this. It came to me by way of that delivery of the haunted nipple biter mirror. So the team that had it, they were like, we don't want this. We know you collect this crap. They drove from San Antonio, quite literally, just to drop this off at the house. And that second mirror, they were like, this thing was like with that mirror. We don't know. So I've always had it up. And when people come in, they get a feeling from it. I'm like, that's interesting because no one knows it actually came with that mirror as well. Don't know if you can see our other little little skull, like our... Let's see.
Our little creeper.
He's right down there. That's he's definitely a real human skull. He's centuries old, judging from his patina. And we do have a great video of the previous owner telling us all the crazy stories about that little creeper.
Yeah. He would creep on her when she was like taking showers, and when he wasn't getting enough attention, he would have tantrums and throw himself off of the shelf, and
much like I do. Yeah. So that's a little tour there. There's so many little items. It's hard to show everything, obviously. I think the best way to get that experience is just to, come over and have supper with us.
Hell yeah. And I just want to say, I think it is very super smart of y'all to put two mirrors across from each other. I mean, that's
was Nicole's idea.
Smart. Yeah, that's just great. Yeah. Yeah. That's total sarcasm for those listening at home that are not investigators.
Listen, we think it's a fun experiment because I had actually made, and it's recently broke, so it's in the garage. I'd made what they call and I hate this name, they call it a devil's toy box, right? Yeah. But it's literally 6 mirrors, you make it a box, they're all facing each other. And I got wild stuff from that. Like I put a contact microphone on it, and I was putting haunted shit in the box, and you'd be getting this tapping coming from the box. So I wanted to build a life-size one, hadn't I? And I wanted to put you in there.
Oh my God. Yeah. He was on a kick of this.
I'll do it.
I can't even tell you how long he's going to build this thing and put me in there. And I'm like, Damian.
Yeah. Home Depot, you can get big sheets of the mirror glass, and I can build that box. It's just like it would take up a room.
You fucked up. You should have turned the closet into it.
Well, I got to have a place for my radical radios.
No, you know what though? That's a great experiment for your museum. For to have people come in and they can do the challenge. Let them sit there give them 10 minutes in the devil's toy box. I think that is an amazing idea because I would sign me up. I think that's a great idea. Get building.
Mm-hmm.
Yes, get it built. I'm in.
Get it built. If you build it, they will come.
That's right. I will come if you build it. Yes.
You just open the box and they're
when I said it.
You open the box and they're trapped like Emperor Zod on the inside. They can't get out.
Emperor Zod. I love that.
Well, speaking of coming, that's a wonderful segue, by the way. Yeah.
Where are we going now, Blake?
No, I was going to say, why don't y'all tell them where they can find y'all and every place that they can go to experience everything y'all have to offer. God, that still sounds dirty.
No, I love it. Experience us.
Well, the best way I would say is in our Patreon. It's patreon.com/ParaPeculiar. That's pretty much where we're posting the most up-to-date information. Every time we get new items, we're sharing it in there. We're doing a live stream tomorrow to show everybody everything that we acquired on this trip because it's kind of a lot, to be honest.
We do other stuff. We do the monthly mediumship.
Yeah, we have a monthly Ask the Oracle where we talk about mediumship stuff.
I'll do readings for people if they want them.
Yeah, all kinds of cool stuff. But we also are on Instagram. You can find at ParaPeculiar, at The Real Ghosts Of. The Real Ghosts Of is our investigations. ParaPeculiar is us fucking unhinged, getting weird, and interviews with people. So pick your poison. Hopefully you pick both bottles.
We are pretty much everywhere because we've found an interesting way to make this sort of our lives. So we're always on the road. Yep. So whether it's the ParaPeculiar podcast or the Real Ghost Sub podcast or our Patreon or our Instagram, or we do have a group for like-minded individuals in Facebook
that
anyone can sort of join and hang out with us called ParaParlor. It's awesome.
That you guys are all in as well, so you can hang out with all of us.
All of us. Yep. So we do have a super secret Discord for our Patreon members.
We do
as well. So we're kind of all over the place. So if you want to tag along, come tag along. We always like to, when we're on the road, we say like, okay, we're going to be here. Like, who's around? Who wants to come get weird? And it's an open invite.
Yeah.
That is awesome. Well, okay, so now everybody knows where to find them. So now, Blake, why don't you tell them everything they need to know about us?
Sounds good. Well, y'all bear with us. We got a few announcements to make, and then we will wrap this shindig up. Although it's kind of
speaking of coming,
we might have to get y'all on the post broadcast for a little extended interview. Who knows? We may see. All right, let me make our announcements real quick. Well, if you want to support the show directly, go check out our Patreon page as well. That is going to be linked in our link tree tomorrow morning on our X profiles as well as Facebook. For just $5 a month, you will unlock well over 450 exclusive Patreon videos, including the pre and post broadcast, which are the 30 minutes before and the 30 minutes after this live broadcast. So if you're not sure about joining that, we do offer the 7-day free trial. So check it out before you sign up. Make sure you stay connected with us. Follow us on Facebook, YouTube, many more by searching Everything Big Paranormal and looking for that green sound wave, or by clicking those icons in our Linktree link. Remember, you can catch us live every Tuesday night at 8 p.m. Central Standard Time on Facebook and YouTube. And if you want to meet us in person, you've got a few just a few choices this year. Our next appearance is going to be at the Paranormal Rockdown at Broadhead Manor in Broadhead, Wisconsin on July 18th to the 19th. Then we're swinging on over to the Gettysburg Battlefield Bash from July 25th to the 27th in Gettysburg. Then we're off to the center of the country for KC Paracon on August 2nd in Kansas City. Then up to Vernal, Utah, September the 3rd through the 6th for Phenomicon 2025. And finally, we will be attending the Rock Island Roadhouse Esoteric Expo on October 4th in Rock Island, Illinois. So make sure you also subscribe to our Eventbrite page to be notified when those public investigation tickets go on sale. Again, we are grateful for for your continued support. Every like, comment, share, and download keeps these adventures alive. So if you have a favorite episode, make sure you share it and tag us. And if you have a story, comment, or question, or would like to have us on your podcast as a guest, email us at theevppod@gmail.com. It's theevppod@gmail.com.
And go like, share, and subscribe to that YouTube channel and hit that thumbs up button if you've enjoyed seeing Damian and Nicole on with us tonight.
I feel like we gotta hire Blake to say all that for us.
I have been saying it for 191 episodes.
He did it the very first time, and now he did it the very first time, and now that's his gig.
We're just like, hey, like us, and you're like, you know.
Well, y'all, we want to thank y'all for joining us for another weekly episode of Everything Vaguely Paranormal. For myself, I am Blake Smith. My partners in the paranormal, Miss Shelley Pruitt, Mr. Ryan Roberts, and our very special guest tonight with ParaPeculiar Haunted Museum and Podcast, Mr. Damian Schillaci and Nicole Riccardo. We appreciate y'all tuning in, and as always, we will see you next Tuesday. Good night, y'all.
Bye-bye.
Bye, guys.